Audio episode 4. Let's go, dudes. Are you tired of always having your ash being picked by another teammate? Have you been looking for a gadget that puts the hole into asshole? Have you been ridiculed for being a no-brain ash main and have finally decided it's about time to put a little bit more strategy into your plays? If any of these apply to you, then Zofia may just be the operator for you. But first, we'll be back after these messages. Hello. This is Josh from Elan Tusk Gaming, and are you struggling with the endless amount of time to fill in the day now that we are void of such activities such as school, work, or even the pub? Well, that's where we here at Elan Tusk Gaming can help. We here at Elan Tusk Gaming strive to provide our viewer with some of the most thriving, dynamic, and most importantly, mediocre content that can be found on the World Wide Web. We pursue the goal to only slightly deviate from the status quo to appeal to the wants and desires of our viewer. However, in these challenging times, it's becoming ever more difficult to provide our viewer the mediocre content that they deserve. Each day, a member of the ETG community suffers in the most surreal ways. Day after day, one of us must venture out into the dark, cold wasteland of the outdoors and embark on an incredibly treacherous journey to acquire a source of nicotine. With each expedition, we run the risks of bumping into people and having potentially awkward encounters with them. This is where you, the viewer, could help. Just like donating to Guide Dogs for the Blind, you too can donate to us. However, we do not ask for monetary donations. No, we ask for something far more precious. We ask that you, the viewer, simply hit the like and subscribe button and maybe even share this video if you wish to see more mediocre content and siege how-tos. With your help, maybe one day we can afford to pay someone at below minimum wage to fetch cigarettes for us. Thank you for your contribution. Right, so you're probably watching this video for a whole myriad of reasons. You're trying to join a pro team, but they already have an ash main. You've got an abundance of renown and are debating which operator to buy next. You're doing a case study of Tesla for a school project and misspelled Elon Musk and have ended up here. I don't know. Truth be told, I don't give a fuck why you're here, but I'm pretty grateful. So let's not beat around the bush and let's just jump straight into things. Ash 2.0, or Big Girl Zoe the Destroyer, is a 2-armor, 2-speed attacker for Team Rainbow that brings both the
boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
And the
where?
the grenade launcher that packs both impact and concussive rounds, because having just one thing wasn't enough. She's the resident mother on the team and the overbearing and ever disappointed older sister to Ella. Many believed that Zof was brought into the game, bring the pick rate of Ash down, but we all know that the Ash simps amongst the Siege community would never let that happen. No, instead, Zofia became a complement to Ash in a way, and also a successor. There is very much an argument that Zofia came into the game and completely stole Ash's thunder. Zof can pretty much do all the things that Ash can do, but just a little bit better. Soft breaching, Zofia's lifeline can propel 2 impact rounds back to back with no delay, and punch a hole into the wall without any nonsense. Ash, on the other hand, must reload after each shot of her grenade launcher and wait for her round to detonate following impact. What about weapons? Well, whilst it's hard to pull an Ash main away from the R4C, it's even harder to argue that Zofia's M762 assault rifle isn't up there with the C7E and the AK-12 as one of the outright best guns in the game. Now, the primary advantage that Ash has over her Polish counterpart is speed and size, but that's the thing. Zofia isn't meant to be played as a run and gun entry fragger, but she can do that. To truly succeed as Zof though, slow things down, use your intel, and play a little smarter. But you try and tell the FaZe clan wannabe on your squad that there is a better alternative to their red-headed waifu, and they'll tell you that you can go fuck yourself. Now, unlike most operators on attack, Zofia can definitely be described as somewhat of a Swiss Army knife operator. Bring her into your composition to fill almost any other role other than direct hard breaching, and she can fill the shoes of a plethora of operators. No Ash, never fear, old Zof is here. Your Maverick needs a hand with his Maverick tricking? No worries, bro, we got ya. Not sure if someone is in the next room, but you're out of drones? Don't sweat it, brother. Just gonna one of these concussion mines in there, and it'll smoke those pesky defenders out. Missing a buck and a sledge? With Zofia's we can remove whatever you need, and I seriously mean whatever. Let's have a look at what this thing can fuck up. Wooden barricades, deployable shield, castle barricades, Goya shields, barbed wire, evil eye, soft wall, electric claw, block doors, soft floor, soft hatch, frost mat, bulletproof.
Juice, rubber goose, green rose, guava juice, giant snake, birthday cake, large rice, chocolate shake.
Anyway, yeah, as I've touched upon, Zofia's gadget is the KS-79 Lifeline, which is a double-barrel grenade launcher, capable of propelling both impact grenades and concussion grenades that provide the same as Ella's as Ella's ice cream cone mines. And whilst these launch at the same speed and aggression as a German V1 rocket, physics seems to apply to this launcher in a way that it seems to forget with Ash's, and the projectiles will fall at a slight curve. So at a distance, aim slightly above where you want it to hit. I've already gone over the destructive power of the impact grenades this thing flogs out, so I'm assuming you get the point there. However, the concussive mines can offer a great deal of strategic play. Originally, Zof started out with 4 of these little confusion canisters, which was deemed to be just a tad overpowered. Consequently, she saw 2 of her concussion grenades swiftly removed from her one after the other, leaving her now with just 2, and I think most players will agree that this is a much better state for her to be in. These concussion grenades can be launched into the known or unknown location of a defender, and cause them to feel a little like this.
Hello?
Do this quick enough and you can bully your opponent into a state of confusion so fierce that they won't even notice you charging in like the Kool-Aid man.
Oh yeah!
and slapping them with the old left-right goodnight. But these concussion grenades can be used for
Much more, Bernie, but keep it to yourself.
You see, these grenades, just like Elan mines, work on proximity basis and will detonate when in close range of an enemy. For this reason, if you a few of these into a room and hear a few of this, you know that there is someone in there. Pretty startled. You see that? That's called intel. Moving on. Zofia brings with her some of the best ass-kicking artillery that this game has to offer, and that comes all the way down to her firearms as well. Both of her primary weapons are exceptional in their own right. She brings both an assault rifle and an LMG to the party, in the form of the M762 and the LMG-E? Let's start with what most players will be using, and that is the assault rifle. The M762 is a Polish assault rifle developed in 1996 to replace the common use of the Kalashnikov since Poland's divorce from its very, very naughty neighbours and the dissolvement of the Warsaw Pact. Please note that factual manipulation has been used for comical effect, therefore please do not take this as concrete evidence or 100% historical truth. Now, I've already mentioned how I and other players believe that this is up there with the best rifle in the game. It has an excellent rate of fire, significant damage at medium ranges, and a recoil that is buttery smooth, meaning that you could rock an angle grip if you're feeling a bit brave. I'd go into the stats a bit more, but I'm not Rogue 9. Just take my word for it that this gun is as satisfying as that well-deserved handy J you received in the M1 service station last night. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. Moving swiftly on, we come to the LMG equals MC squared. Whilst most won't rock this hunk of metal, because heaven forbid they sacrifice quicker reload times, ADS speeds and faster rate of fire. Actually, wait, no, that's pretty justified. Nevertheless, as far as the LMGs go, the LMG
Challenge everything.
is pretty solid, and when utilised correctly, can serve the user well, especially with that 150 round magazine.
Oh my goodness!
It's a machine gun! Machine gun!
Yes, that's right, this bad boy comes with 300 rounds split into 2 drum mags. So given that all the stars fall into alignment, and by stars I mean defenders, just hold down the fire button and hose down the enemy like that scene in No Russian. Problem is, I, like many other FPS players, have what can only be described as instant reload syndrome, in which after firing just one bullet, I must reload the gun. For this reason, you may be seeing a lot of this. Zof gets one secondary weapon, but don't you fret there. This here pistol is immaculate. Its accuracy with that itty bitty red dot sight is spectacular, which more than makes up for its mediocre damage. And for the light sensitive among you, this little bad boy unveils an underbarrel laser that's fucking green. This will make any opponent chase the little dot on their screen like a cat to a laser pen. This pistol is a gift from whatever god or deity you may or may not believe in. Zof's secondary gadgets are both useful towards her more tactical playstyle. Her claymore will allow you to cover your back from roamers because, let's be honest, your teammates are going to do absolutely fuck all when it comes to watching your flank. And unless you plan to open up the entirety of the floor above a site, you need to sit down and have a hard long think of yourself as to why you're bringing the breaching charges when you already have a gadget that brings the boom. Now, there's something that's not made abundantly clear about Zofia, and that is that she boasts a certain set of powers that other operators don't.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
No, not those kind of powers. Zof is one of a minutiae of operators that has a couple of trump cards up her sleeve. Firstly, when under the effects of the stun provided by Ella's mines, she receives a reduction in the stun's duration of 70%, for no other reason that her and Ella are sisters. Secondly, if Zofia is put into the down but not out state and left unattended, stealing the same level of bullshittery that Doc pulls and conjuring together both the powers of God and anime, she will arise from her pool of blood like a phoenix from the ashes and stand with 5% health to fight again. However, the reality is you're never going to pull this shit off in a 1v1 situation. But wait, it continues. When in the down but not out state, she bleeds slower than everyone else too. And the only explanation I can find to any of this is the fact that her dad took her out one day to go shoot some stray dogs to teach her, and I quote, the skills necessary to survive any peril and withstand dangerous situations. Okay. Seriously though, Zofia has so much random backstory in comparison to other operators, I wouldn't be surprised if they were planning a standalone film for her. There's just so much unnecessary crap about her relationship with Ella and the dynamics that it brings. No real benefit to the game. I've already touched upon how I feel about the lore in Siege in my first video, so if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link here. Anyway, you're probably fucking sick of my voice by this point, so I'll wrap this up for you. Zoe the Destroyer is an incredibly unique operator that can fulfill almost any role in attack. Play her with a bit of a slower and more methodical pace than you would with Ash, and you will be topping the scoreboard in no time. And with a possible leak of an elite skin on the way, you will soon be able to truly flex over everyone else. And please, if I have to see that fucking Ash MVP screen one more time, As always, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, it would mean a lot if you liked and subscribed for more content and to help the channel grow in any way possible. And maybe if you're aiming to be a good citizen, maybe consider sharing this video with your neighbours or your next NHS clap on Thursday by chanting Elan Tusk Gaming whilst wearing a picture of this video's thumbnail on your t-shirt, as this will honestly help the channel grow no end. I've been Josh from Elan Tusk Gaming, and I will see you next time.